Hey, caregiver, what happens if an emergency comes and you cannot be there for your loved one? Having a plan set in place can make the difference. Life can happen, and sometimes a caregiver can no longer care for their loved one. Whether it be a move, sometimes it's a move for a job for yourself, or maybe a partner or a spouse. It could just be life just came too fast. Maybe there was an emergency and you yourself are unable to care for yourself or others, God forbid. Or maybe there was a surgery that you had scheduled and the recovery time took longer and therefore you're unable to care for your loved one. Maybe you were required to just do more at your own job so you don't have the extra time to care for your loved one. And there can also be instances where your loved one is just requiring so much care that you just can't do it any longer. What can you do to protect yourself and your loved one so that they always get that continuous care, even in your absence? Shutting down can happen emotionally and physically in your own self. Caregivers have a lot on their plate. A lot of times they have their own families they're taking care of and their job plus their home, trying to find time for themselves and in the mix of all of it. And they just experience shutdown. So having those people you can reach out to that you know will step up in case of emergency, that's going to be very helpful for you. Never ever abandon a loved one who is reliant upon your care. There are things you can set up with people around you. So in case there is an emergency in your life, you can still have that continuance of care for your loved one. Do not ever feel that calling for help or asking for help is a sign of weakness. In fact, it's the opposite. It's a sign of strength. Always have a backup plan in case something happens. We never know if something were to happen, God forbid, such as an emergency, where you cannot get to your loved one. So having that backup plan and having that communication set up is so very important. So some of the things you can do is relying upon the person you're caring for. If your loved one is capable of living alone, they can make decisions for themselves, they are just a little more frail or less able to move around, then just let them know, hey, Mom, I call you every day between 10 and 12. And if you don't hear from me, this is who you call. And you have a list laid out in places where you know Mom is going to hang out, whether it be in the kitchen, in their bedroom, on their nightstand, or in their area where they sit, like their TV room. Put information for in case of emergency on their refrigerator. Put their medications that they take and the dosage. Write all that in pencil because you're going to erase it regularly as dosages change. Put their doctor's names and phone numbers and addresses. Put down any kind of allergies or diagnoses that your loved one might have, such as COPD or past strokes or diabetic, whatever it is they're diagnosed with, write that down as well. Put your loved one's name, their actual phone number, and then your name as the contact, primary contact, if that's who you are, and then have other contacts underneath you that agree to be contacts. So if the emergency services can't reach you, they can reach the next person or the next person. We'll talk about that, building a support network, a little later on this year. So you want to take that information, you want to fold it up so that nobody wandering in is going to see it, and you want to put on the paper in case of emergency, so that when somebody walks in, if they are an emergency services personnel, they're going to see that on the refrigerator. And believe me, they will look there. You also want to put a copy of that in the person's wallet and in their nightstand. Those are 3 places that emergency services personnel will look in case of emergency and your loved one can't speak for themselves. Also have this list for your loved one. Who else they can call. If you can't reach me, call these people. Let your loved one know that these lists exist on the refrigerator, next to their bedstand, next to their TV stand where they watch TV during the day, where they charge their telephone if they have a cell phone. This way, in case they don't hear from you, they can call someone else and they can look at that list if they don't remember who it was they were supposed to call. Talk with your family members and friends that you know, even neighbors. See if any of those people are willing to be a communication partner with you. If you're going through something and you can't reach your loved one, or if you're going through something and you need to reach some of the other people on the list and you can't, you can call your mom's friend, or you can call your good friend, or you can call your mom's neighbor, and they can continue to call as you're dealing with your own situation. Have that line of communication established now before things happen. So, and keep that line of communication open. Talk to these people regularly just about life, so that these people are still in your life, are still active in your life, and then remind them on occasion. Remember, you're on mom's call list, so if anything happens to me, that you'll be able to help and be part of that communication line for mom. I do want to make a little disclaimer for YouTube that I am not doxing any company or any person sharing the information I'm about to share, that the information I have here is actually publicly available. But when a person is in an emergency situation, I'm trying to help them have a educational video for them to find where they can get help for their loved one during an emergency situation. You want to compile all of this information now, when life is good, when everything is working well, so that there are no surprises coming down the line. You want to write down this number. It's Eldercare Locator. It is 1-800-667-1116, or you can go to their website, eldercare.acl.gov. They will have information for you to find a place where your loved one can live, either temporarily or for the long term, during times of emergency. So this is a great place to have on your phone or on your computer. We're going to discuss the Area Agency on Aging. This is a great organization. Find your local Area Agency on Aging, and as I've stated in previous videos, all you do is type in your city and state and then Area Agency on Aging. That agency will pop up with your local Area Agency on Aging information. Keep that information. Get to know these people. They have wonderful resources for you in regards to how to get you help with the care that your loved one needs as your loved one's needs increase. So getting to know them, getting involved with them right now is so important. You can also call 211 in the United States to find local resources. Now, if you're outside of the United States and you know of a number that people in your country can call to find resources such as this, please put it down below so that I can keep it in my library on my website. And my website is www.thinksarah.com. And there is a library on there where I am compiling amazing resources for you. Make sure you also have a good relationship with the doctor of the elder you're caring for. Doing that will give you an opportunity to have somebody to reach out to. Hey, I am in the hospital right now. I had an emergency. I can't get to mom. Can you intercede in one way or another? And if they can't, they may be able to give you resources that you can call. And maybe talk with them in advance and say, listen, in case something happens, can you be a first line of defense for me in case something happens to mom? So that we can get this set up so that I can sleep at night knowing that in case something happens to me, we can take care of mom. Make sure you get your local Adult Protective Services phone number by just typing in your city, your state, and Adult Protective Services, and they will have a local number. They may just give you the 800 number, and you can contact them that way, and then they can help you. There are emergency assisted living placements out there, and you can actually look those up in advance. They will change periodically, so you will want to jump on there once in a while, once a month, once a quarter. Make yourself a note and see which ones are available, and keeping a running list. This way, in case something happens, when a loved one steps in for you, like a sister or another family member comes in your place to help your loved one, they will have those lists and they can make those phone calls to see who can take your loved one and admit them to keep them there safe until you can get back to caring for them. You can also look up the National Institute on Aging, and you can put all those words together with no spaces, National Institute on Aging.gov, and go to their website and check them out. And they have so many resources for you there as well. If you are ever going through a time where you feel that you can't go on, that things are too overwhelming, and you just don't have it in you anymore, I want you to call the crisis hotline before making any major life-altering decisions. That hotline is 988 in the United States, or you can text 741-741. Please, before you make any life-altering decisions, call those numbers, get the help that you need, and know that you are loved, you are appreciated, you are needed on this earth, and that you are part of an amazing community.